In this video, we're gonna do a little bit of progress on the priorities and be doing a little sheep shuffling too. It's just some homestead life for you guys. A different look into some things that go on here. Not exactly a specific, coherent video about one single topic like our tomato video was. I'll put that up over here and yeah, have it on the end screen. But just some homestead life for us. How it works, how it goes, and some of how we live. Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. I'm standing out here in some mayhem I created yesterday. I chopped down 4 cedar trees that I was using, nope, 5. And one that was just a crazy little guy in the way. And I got a neighbor who doesn't like cedar trees. I got a use for some cedar trees. He gave me free access to come out here and take care of some stuff. And the cool thing now is, like, I'm standing in the sun. This is a big old sunny spot, but it has not been like this for years. So in the last video, I talked about a bit of a destruction project because I'm, destroying some stuff here, so to say. But also, it's not that, I didn't want to use the term deforestation because I'm not really deforesting anything. I am removing trees, but what happens is when you get woods, it pretty much looks like this. It's thick and it's shady. A lot of the places around me, just thick and shady. And then you open it up like this. What this gives is all sorts of stuff. An opportunity then to grow up. That oak will take off. Some of these other things will start growing up. There'll be all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't even know would normally be here, but there's seeds for it and things that'll then get an opportunity to grow up because now they have sunlight. So I've got a couple more to go in this area. Overall, it's not that big of a patch in here, but I want people to know and understand when you cut down a forest, if you don't do anything to it, it pops back like crazy. Ask any homesteader anywhere where the wild grows really well. Anything we're not actively taming on our land, what happens?
It grows right back.
It grows right back. I was just at Southern Blessed Homestead. Mac was telling me, he says, this wasn't a forest just 5 years ago. He says, it was all nicely manicured. He says, but then my tractor broke down. I wasn't able to brush hog this anymore. Now I've got a forest here. It happens just like that. And that's one of the things that a lot of city slickers don't understand. A lot of people living up in an apartment complex somewhere, just anti-everything, don't cut down a tree, all this stuff. They don't have any trees. They don't know how the forest works. I have trees, I kill trees, and I plant trees. And I start trees from seed. And we work with the environment around us. This is part of it. I need some wood. I can get it myself. My neighbor doesn't want this wood here. And then something better, something different can sprout up now that I'm standing in the sunshine here, where we opened it up. So, just compare real quick. This is really dark. It's like the middle of the day. But up in here, the camera probably doesn't do it justice. In fact, I know it doesn't do it justice because it looks pretty light there. This is all pretty dark for the middle of the day. So I'm gonna get back to work killing trees so that the forest may live. Well, we got our load for the day, and while we still have more to get, we're closing in on what we need for these 2 projects, which is good. Yeah, good working with my son. Got a good pile of stuff. And the cool thing too is by taking this into our own hands, we're even making sure that this stuff is harvested in a good way rather than just a whole area clear cut and plowed. I don't know what happens to the stuff that winds up in the stores. I just know when I take it in my own hands, I get to determine what happens to the environment and how it looks when I'm done and how it rebounds from that. You know, we're not bulldozing everything, we're not doing other things. I know a lot of people don't understand that even lumber companies, they have to replenish the trees they cut down or they run out of job to do. You know, they want to keep that stream of income. So they have to be planting trees while they're cutting trees down. And then while these ones grow, and these ones grow, and these ones grow, you know, they finish these and they can come back and start again. So something to think about. Let's get this unloaded and go from there soon. Guys, you ought to see this. See that light lit up? I had this kit for a minute, but I never put it on myself. That light's lit up, same thing on the other side. Our friends were over helping us work. He noticed that I was no longer pulling it down the real road, no longer doing that, just kind of shuffling things around the property. And he's like, hey, if you want, we can stop in at a store on the way back from when we were out gar fishing. He said, I'll rig up your trailer. I said, man, I've got everything on hand to do it. I just don't have the experience yet. Not that I couldn't figure it out, but sometimes a lack of experience is all that it takes to kind of make you sit back for a moment and not jump on it. Right now, our neighbors were just saying if we need some extra pasture, we can bring some animals up. And if we don't, then they're going to start mowing a certain area. Now, we're getting by fine with what we got, but I am also giving them some hay right now. And plus, if it's going to save them from having to mow, we'll bring some up. So we're sorting it out right now. They're sorting these out right now. Getting 5 of them that we're going to bring up. We're just going to bring up some yearlings right now. Right? Well, this year's ones. Yeah, okay. That's what I meant. So we got our 3 males over here. I've got another one up in the garden, and then we're taking the Shetland Fin ewes. And I kind of said 1 apiece, guys, so it's easier for you guys. I know you try to overachieve and then sometimes run into issues. I'll take one myself. Is that the one I'm taking? Hey, buddy. Let's go for a little walk, my friend. We'll go for a walk, then we'll go for a ride. Yeah, I know. These rams too, honestly, they're just going to be food. We've got the ones we want for breeding for the next couple years. If we have something amazing, we might diversify our flock a little more, but I like to bring in an unrelated male with strong genetics and go from there. This one here, Ace, he's a related male, and he doesn't have that good of genetics. And guess what? See this whole pile of free sources I'm walking past looking like a bunch of junk? I'm gonna build my lean-to off that shipping container and get that going. Get them all tucked out of the elements. That'll be good. By the way, this is the proper way to carry some of these animals. These guys got a number of stomach stuff and other things, but if you're grabbing them a different way, it's not going to work so well. In front of the front legs, behind the back legs. And Pinky Pepper is going to give them each a natural dewormer ball that Mama Pepper makes. So that way, we know they're doing well when we head up there. We'll also check their eyes before we send them up. Make sure they're all looking good. You want a nice kind of dark pink, kind of light red eye. If the eyes are light pink or white, that means they're probably wormy and not doing too good. And take a look at this guy if you can. You see he's got a big horn coming back at me, a big horn going up on this side, and on this other side his horns grew together. I can actually still see all 3 horns from this side, and the 3 horns from this side. A little one joined to the bottom of here. This would have been a 6-horned sheep if they would have all stood separately, which is pretty cool. That can go in the back of the truck, Bug.
Nice catch.
What'd you say?
Nice catch.
He said nice catch. You should see how it looks in my hand. It was a nice catch. I shouldn't have opened the door. I knew better. What are a couple things in the natural warmer, do you know?
Some different herbs, like I think yarrow's in there, and some other herbs that are good for deworming. Some dewormer. And then what mama and sweet pepper added to these were, after they mixed up flour, peanut butter, the rest of the pumpkin seeds, and they put some GI soother in there, which is just some more herbs, and then they rolled them in oats after that. And they put a few, maybe 1 drop, I think, of lemon essential oil.
Oh yeah, lemon essential oil.
Blood orange.
Cool. Oh, blood orange.
And molasses.
Nice.
And then, oh yes, molasses. Oh, okay.
You guys ready for a ride?
Blueberry and Ted Danson have really good eyes. He is good. Rose is a little bit on the light pink.
Well, we'll check them every couple days.
She loves deworming balls.
So there are some that are a little less rich in color than we would like, just by the eye check. So what we're gonna do is, you know, we're taking them nearby. We're taking them next door. That's why I got them on that trailer there. Hey kids, load up, because we're gonna go. And what we're gonna do is we'll just check in on them every couple days to make sure they're doing good. So we'll move the ones out that we want through here to the trailer, and then we'll put Zeke down there with the 6, and we'll keep Siobhan here. Oh, yeah, lock her up for right now so she doesn't distract you moving the sheep. So right now where we're at, after taking a peek at what's actually going on there, some stuff is pretty seriously grown up. Because of how grown up their kind of grass pathways between their garden stuff is, I'm deciding to pull in a whole crew right now, and by putting a number of animals in a concentrated grazing up there, what they're going to do is they're going to knock it down quickly. Now at that point, if they want us to keep a couple up there for the rest of the grazing season for maintenance, just to kind of keep it trimmed up, or whether they just want us to remove our sheep, and then if it gets grown up again, bring them in for an intensive grazing to bring it back to where it should be, that's up to them. We'll see. But there is a couple things you should consider if you're contemplating possibly letting your animals graze on somebody else's property. Let me grab a seat here and I'll explain it to you. So the deal is, some people put things on their lawn, on their garden, on their property that you might not want in your animals. It's okay to ask questions. Like if somebody says, hey, you want to have your animals come up here and graze? You can ask questions if they use fertilizers, if they use weed herbicides, you know, weed killers, if they use pesticides on there. Depending on what they answer, you may not want your animals to go grazing on there, and that's okay. If it's a, look out Bug, they're coming. If it's a situation where, you know, they're giving you an opportunity, you don't have to take them up on that opportunity. Also, it's good to consider kind of what type of fencing they have around their area. I know that for some of the younger sheep and some of the other sheep, their fencing is going to be just fine. A rule we have here on our homestead is do not chase the animals. They need to be reminded sometimes. If you're chasing your animals all the time, they're not going to be friendly, they're not going to like you. They're going to be afraid of you. So we got a couple things built up in ways that we'll just corral some of them over here. But yeah, a couple things to think about. Watch what, and then also, yeah, like say for instance, I don't like Bermuda grass on my property because of what Bermuda grass does to a garden. I don't want some of my animals to go eat a whole bunch of Bermuda grass seeds and then come poop them out all over my property. That's not going to work out well for me. I gotta help these children for a minute. To save us taking sheep like she's got on a leash and walking all the way back up to where I parked, I can drive all the way down here. So I'm gonna drive all the way down here. Save us the legwork, because we got a number of them we're picking up. I'm gonna save 6 of them down here that I was planning on putting Zeke back with, our newest ram, unrelated, because those 6 are Dodge's daughters. So we'll do that switch and we'll go from there. Thanks, son. I'll show you the males quick that we got here. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jacob. Jacob's impressive for about 1.5 years. That's Zeke. Hey Shiva. Zeke is the one we traded Apocalypse for. He is really good looking. Dodge is the dad of Thunderkill up on the hill, and Jacob over here. But I think Jacob and Thunderkill are probably going to be eaters. Dodge is going to get in his last season of breeding now, and Zeke's going to take over for him. We're just having Zeke hit the ones he can right now that were Dodges from last year that we held back. And then Dodge is breeding the Johnny Clearwater's daughters from a couple years ago. This is little Shalom. She's a nice little ewe from this year.
Here's her grandma.
That's her grandma, Crazy Horns, and Raspberry.
Yes, and
Raspberry.
then her mom.
And Crazy Ear Horns. So this one is the mom of that one.
Mama.
And this one's the grandma of them. I'll get those in there because they're heavy. Grandma. Why don't you introduce us to who's coming up in this batch?
Dandelion. Crazier Horns. Shalom. Recess. Skylight. Flower. Raspberry. And Crazy Horns.
Nice. And then Flower is the one that I spent the night with in the barn when she delivered her baby Ace, right?
Yep. Sugar.
Sugar. Okay, Sugar. And let's look at the 6 that are staying. So we got 6 that are staying. We're gonna have Zeke come down for right now. We're trying to get back to the breed standard, which is like 60% white, 40% dark, black eyes, black muzzle. Ewes should even have 4 horns. Male should have 4 horns, stuff like that with our Jacob sheep. So here's 2 of them. And these ones are doing pretty good. You can see they've got some decent horns on them. There's a little room for improvement, but not bad. That one in front is only half Jacob sheep. The other half is Shetland Fin. Hey!
Nah.
And then the rest of them are walking away. There's a cricket in the back?
Cricket's next behind Daisy.
Okay,
then
cricket.
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
In the middle, and Patches is the last one.
Okay, so Patches, cricket, Fuzzy. Well, let's go get Zeke. Yeah, my sheep is?
Patches.
All right. Should we go get it a friend to hang out with?
Nah.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get Zeke. Some people will breed sheep at about 6 months. From what I've seen, if you do that, there's a good chance they'll miscarry on their first one. And that's a lot of energy kind of wasted. A lot of struggle to go through not to have anything in the end. If they do have lambs, they normally only have 1. And we just figure we wait about a year, or in this case, those were born last spring, so they're about 1.5 years now. They would be more giving birth when they're about 2, which is more something like people do with their cattle a lot of times. But we're gonna see here, see if we can get Zeke out. Do you guys got it, or you want me to get it?
I think you should.
Okay. You guys walk around that way and bring Zeke through over here.
No.
Hey, Dad.
Better.
Hey, buddy.
Papa.
Shh. Hoping to get him to come through here, guys. Where's my helper? Hoping to bring it through the trees. Wow. This is a creature. So this is Ezekiel, or Zeke, or we also call him Buddy. You take the bottom one, Monster Truck can take the top. He's less than 2 years old right now. But you can see he's got some decent genetics. He's got some good horn growth. His horns are black, which is desirable. He's got good eyes and muzzle. He's got the black stockings on. He's a good looking one. We're really looking to introducing his genetics into this flock and seeing what happens. When we started off, we combined two kind of subpar discount flocks, and neither one had the best genetics, but we're kind of sorting through that and breeding back to breed standard and then kind of improving from there. So just a sheep that I always kind of wanted. They are a wool sheep, so you do have to shear them once a year. This guy I'll have to hit with his shearing here, but they're also an unimproved breed, so they do really good on roughage and other stuff. We're going to introduce them to those ladies though. All right, children.
Ready? 2, go.
Nibbling first, but he'll take up an interest in these ladies here soon enough. Yeah, come check him out. You remember him. He hung out with you before for a while. We pulled him off the pasture behind us a bit ago, and just giving him a little hay recently, so to be back on green pasture, he's pretty happy. They'll be able to hang out here for a while, and then I've got a back pasture. I'm probably going to either put Jacob and Thunderkill on, or maybe this one with his ladies. We'll see. I got that part in front of the garden to fence in too, so that'll be good for somebody. But over time, those 4 over there, and this guy, and those 2 back there should make some beautiful babies for the next generation. And one thing I really like is that the 5 full-blooded Jacob sheep in this group that are the ewes have some really good genetics. So that's good. I'm looking forward to see what their offspring look like and how much horn they have on them. All right, sheep, you guys got a job to do. We got 5 already up there. We're dropping off 8 more. So I guess we'll have 13 up there. We just gotta remember that, okay, children? 13 is how many we got. That way we'll know we didn't lose any.
Sir.
And it's good if we know our own sheep by name. That's what a good shepherd does. Overall, making some good progress on this root cellar. I told you there was 2 guys I needed to talk to before I proceeded with this project. I took a drive, traveled, I don't even know, more than 3,000 feet underground. Met up with my brother Chris over at Shalom Acres. Got a lot of good information. Took a notebook, wanted to make sure I had it. And then after our friends just came over and helped us clear it out, and also helped us get some cedars, progressing with this. Got some groundwork to do right now, so that's going to be a little labor intensive. I might see if I can maybe get some heavy equipment to use as opposed to having to do it all by hand. I'll do it either way, it don't matter to me. It's got to get done. But then here, I went over to help a friend with a concrete job, and his truck fell through. He was kind of hiring some people to do some help for him, and I said, well, I'll just come over and do it. I said, if you'll give me some of your rocks. Obviously, you look over here, I got a pretty good rock collection, but it's not enough. So now I got that. The goal is to do some rock slip forms between my cedars for the outside of this thing, probably up to about waist high. So I got to sort through this right now and get these unloaded, and it's pretty much, I'm at this stage where I'm trying to gather the resources I need for that project, the root cellar, and then also my lean-to off the shipping container is another one I got to do, and getting some extra stuff with the cedars, and then when I get the roofing material for these 2 projects, where I'm hoping I can do a pavilion too. Boy, got another rooster chase going on. But I gotta unload this, so I'm gonna get this unloaded and we'll be closer to finishing this project. Exciting. Wow. Took a lot longer to load, I'll give you that. Plus I can speed it up on the video, but wow. Well, it's not that this gives me enough for my project. It's just that it gets me closer. And for that, I'm grateful. Obviously got a ton of other activity going on in life too, but gotta keep on these priorities, right? So what we're doing right now is I may have an opportunity to get a small tractor to try to level this whole area out so I can frame it in, get ready and do my pour. That's exciting. Also over here, oh yeah, I'm burning a stump right there, getting that done. And then here, we're sorting through the cedars. The boys got some of the ones for our lean-to. Some of these bigger ones here, you can see they're scraped cleaner, are gonna be for this project, the outdoor kitchen above the root cellar. This one's gonna be for the lean-to. This one's gonna be for the lean-to. I'm working on those, but the boys are scraping. I'm thinking about taking these up and grinding them to put a slight edge in the middle of them. So we'll see. We'll see. For some reason, young boys really like just scraping all the bark off of logs. Even when we had some folks visiting us, they did the same thing. They were really excited just to get out here and scrape the bark off of logs. So go see if I can put an edge on these.
Yeah, that's all.
Make it a little bit sharper. Actually, let me test with the chop saw first, make sure that works good. And then I might start dropping some of these for my lean-to. And talked to my buddy earlier about getting some welding done around here because I have a number of welding projects which I should be working on here soon. Well, the number is 2. One in the garden, that'll be an interesting video, and one for the lean-to. So we'll see how it goes. So at the moment, everyone's got their stuff divided up, and I'm just gonna try to get... Hello, hi! I'm gonna try to get everything situated to drop the post for the lean-to soon. And then I gotta check in. Hold on, baby. I'm recording, so not so loud, happy girl. She's excited. You say hi? Hi. Wave. Yeah, so here's what's going on. This guy right now, he's a little sweaty. It's a hot day, and he's making sure that this fire stays fed a little bit. It's a little high, but we'll work on getting it down. And we're trying to have this burn out the stump beneath the baby girl. Stay back from that edge. You don't need to, yeah, that's from the weeds you pull. You can pull that one, but then stay back. So Bugger is taking care of this. What's this from? What'd you have in this jar?
Lemonade.
Lemonade. Your sister made you lemonade to keep you hydrated? You had lemonade too? Good. Nice. And then here, this one I charred a bit just to get the bark to peel off easier. But these 2 are ready, and I'm gonna need a number more. But I'm scraping it back to nothing here, so all the bark is removed. And then charring this to help make it more resistant. I got a little more burning to do on here. I can still see real wood through it. But that's my current job. And then this guy here, we decided these ones were working good enough I didn't put an edge on them. but he's stripping them down to make them a little easier to work with, and then I'll remove everything on the end. When we do the big ones for the root cellar, we're going to strip them down to nothing. The whole thing's going to be scraped, but we don't need them as good for the lean-to because we just don't. So I'm going to try to finish up some of this here, get every post I need. I'm going to double check my math and figure out exactly what I'm looking at over there, and then check in with the neighbor to see if I can potentially get my hands on a tractor here, and if so, try to level this. I'll have to clear all my resources, which is a lot of work, but then you see how deep it is next to here? I got to fill it in flat, and then that's a high side too. You got it up, baby girl? Thank you. You helped? Way to help, big brother. Well, I got a tractor lined up for the morning with a little backhoe bucket attachment, other things. Trying to burn that out as much as I can tonight. I don't want that to be hot when I bring a tractor down here. Don't want to blow a wheel or something. And I got all that to pick up. So I'm going to go fill a couple diesel cans in town quick and get ready for my day. Progress. Can you taste it? It might be smoke. Progress. I'll see you next time. Papa out.